Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for March 29th through April 4th of 2020. So this is a very potent week of initiations. Powerful, rare alignments are happening this week that we have talked about before, so you have been being prepared along the way. Almost everything I'm talking about these days is taking on a whole new meaning through the lens of the crisis we're all dealing with at this moment. So my prayers go out to everyone that you are staying well and healthy and navigating with ease and grace. I don't want you to lose sight of this year as a year of miracles. The unprecedented reset that we are experiencing right now can be a magical, useful tool for your evolution. So let's dive in. Our first activation is March 31st, which is Tuesday, my Instagram day, so hopefully you all can join us live or catch the replay on my Karmic Tools YouTube channel. But we kick off the week with Mars stepping into Aquarius right next to Saturn, who just got there. This is a major initiation that is personal and social. Mars represents our energy, desire, action. Saturn rules structure, responsibility, and timing. Them coming together like this is initiating a new level of who you are and what you want and how you can stabilize this new foundation, this very new foundation, because Mars hasn't been in Aquarius for 2 years and Saturn hasn't been in Aquarius for 28. And so those two getting together last time they did this was probably the early 90s at some point. So if you can remember how life was shifting back then, you might catch some clues that can help you now. But any conjunction is an initiation, and Mars rules who you are and what you want, while Saturn rules your definition of reality and your physical limits. If you are feeling frustrated, you may need to clarify your desires more, then take tangible, practical steps toward them. Anytime Saturn is involved, it will depend on your personal nature, as some thrive on structure and good boundaries, while others buck the system and want to do it their own way, which causes its own types of conflicts in the world, right? Sometimes this energy manifests as action being restricted and the anger that follows. You can either be angry and feel restricted, limited, and unable to move, or you can see this energy as an opportunity to define the right actions to take and then strategically plan to take them when the universe is more supportive and receptive. This energy requires us to slow down and double-check the plan. If you proceed consciously, your plan has a better chance of success than if you were reckless and impatient. You may experience a blockage of some sort, whether internal or external. You feel this tremendous urge to move forward in your life, but seem to find blockages and limitations with every effort. That is more likely your perception rather than the reality, so ask yourself if you feel inadequate to the task at hand, or if you are dealing with some personal fears around this issue. Okay, so time out. This is what I mean by every activation is going to mean something a little different through the filter of now. So we're all feeling this kind of restriction, but what I'd like to see you do with it is channel that energy into solidifying a foundation that really can support and protect you, the individual, and your individual family at this time in a way that in Aquarius doesn't violate the whole. That's where we're headed now. We need to be independent. We need to operate within the communities within where we live. And this is a huge reset. And it's pushing us to identify what we truly want in our lives and how we want to live our lives. And in one fell swoop, reordering the values and priorities. So let's not be angry about the limitations we're enduring right now. Let's look into the future and see what's going to be needed when we finally can move again. Because nothing's forever, so this too shall pass. And so normally I would say it's the perception rather than reality, but in this case it's very much the reality as well. So let's, really work with the literalness of the challenges we're facing and start there. Remember that fear is false evidence appearing real, so try to release the fear and reclaim your inner authority to create and lead your own life. If you don't, your outer circumstance only becomes a reflection of your inner belief. You will attract criticism and delays and repel support and protection. Take your grand vision and figure out 3 small steps that you can take, even on this restricted level, that will still take you in the direction of your goal. Mars links up with Saturn every 2 years or so. So even though it is an initiation, you may be better supported for cultivating, planning, working behind the scenes, doing the detail work and foundational work, which is sometimes known as the grunt work, that is actually necessary to support the grand vision when the time comes to fully express it. So, deep breath. And we're going to probably do some really fun divinations around this week's initiations because they're huge. Here we're initiating a new reality of sorts that we have to live on an individual basis. Then we get to April 3rd, which is Friday, Mercury conjunct Neptune. So this is a mixed blessing, but definitely an initiation either way. It can be miraculous for creativity, art, or exploration. I like this one for a personal conversation with God, your higher self, your soul self. As with any initiation, a completion must come first. And in this case, with Mercury, it's time to expand your thinking in some way. Go deeper. Invite your ancestors, angels, and animal guides to answer your questions and guide you at this time. Communing with them is much more supported than communing with the humans around you. So if you need to think about the mundane or confront someone about something, which requires complete honesty from both parties, things could get a little hazy and confused thanks to Neptune here. There is always a veil to contend with when dealing with Neptune, but you have to know which side of it you are on so you are in alignment with the nature around you, meaning are you in 3D or 5D? You got to always check in. This energy tends to color your reality, misleading you to think you are being perfectly clear in your communication or what you are trying to express, while others are completely lost. It's better to say nothing rather than to be completely misunderstood. So this is why it's better for creativity and art and talking to God, talking to Spirit, conversing and asking for the ideas, asking for the creative solutions, asking for the vision of what's on the other side of the crisis we're dealing with at this time. How is life going to resume, and how can we contribute to being more responsible stewards for the earth going forward and really committing to that, simplifying our lives and doing things just a little bit differently. Also on Friday, Venus enters Gemini. So she is entering the zone where she will linger April 3rd to August 7th and stir up the energy of that area of life for you. The last time she was in Gemini was July 2019. So I believe we received some clues back then as to what may need extra attention by now. Your other frame of reference is 2012, which is the last time she extended her stay with a retrograde. As she moves back and forth through this area, she is awakening us to new values and priorities where our ideas, thoughts, words, concepts, and perceptions are concerned. We are going to be presented with wildly new and different choices and decisions to make, so we want to take the next 4 months to research and review our ideas, thoughts, and concepts. Some of the review will stir up how you magnetize what you think and what you think about all the time. So wherever your mind goes, the energy flows, the results flow after that, right? So some will be recognizing the power of their thoughts, and some will be assessing the actual value of your creative ideas and how they can serve and support others along the way too. I will be doing a 2-part open house in April to introduce the new Venus cycle, so stay tuned. Then on Saturday, 4/4, a very special day, we have Venus trine Saturn. This is going to help offset the initiation with Mars. I love it. This is allowing us to feminize this renewal of our masculine and our inner authority and our responsibility for ourselves and for what we want in the world. Not what the world says is okay for us or available to us or what we are entitled to or not. This is who you are and what you want on a soul level. We're being called to live from that center. And so this is a great energy to balance out some of the harder aspects of this week. So it's a smooth, easy energy that you can work with consciously and yield incredible, even tangible results. It's a good time to define your terms where relationships are concerned because you are really clear about your values and priorities at this time. Based on your past choices and efforts, positive benefits and earned rewards are forthcoming. If you have avoided responsibility in your relationships, public or private, then this energy can help you get back on track with less pain and suffering than usual. If you can be practical about your own limits and realistic about what others bring to the table, then this energy also supports discussing forward movement, development, or spiraling to a new, higher level in some way as a team. This is the thing. We're going to work together. Strategizing about the future, clarifying the vision of what will support and protect all involved, and honoring the essence of life that runs throughout is deeply supported by these two getting together in an easy angle. Venus is also the energy of love and money, so it's a good time to be objective and somewhat conservative where both your relationships and finances are concerned. With this interaction with Saturn, I would suggest outlining a reasonable relationship or financial goal for the next 3, 6, 9, or 12 months. So you're going to be resetting your intentions anyway because Venus is lingering in Gemini. She's in Gemini linking up with Saturn first thing. So I think this is a powerful signal as well that we activate what we want and then we activate the ability to create the container for it. Saturn is helping both our masculine and feminine rise to a new level. So when we bring those two aspects of ourselves together, we create something tangible in form, usually. We create something of value and substance. So let's not sleep on this time just because other crazy things are going on. I think Spirit is really giving us all a huge opportunity to turn within and to truly identify what our purpose is and the meaning of our lives beyond the blind consumer, beyond the patriarchal vision for this crazy world that corporations have taken over like the machines. We can live in harmony with technology. We just have to do things in more balance. It can't be this extreme and it can't be this hard on the planet to live a modern lifestyle. So we're learning how to adapt and adjust, and things like this speed things along. That's all I can tell you. So also on the 4th, which is Saturday, is one of 3 hits between Jupiter and Pluto. This is one of the biggies that I discussed in the 2020 overview and the special alignments for 2020. So those updates are still on the YouTube channel, still on the blog. You can definitely find them. But this is a good prayer day for rebirthing your own truth and story, for recognizing the 0 point of possibilities we're living as a social and collective. This is the 0 point. This is the renewal. From here forward, our story is going to be different, Pluto style, permanently changed. So let's use this energy for what it's good for. Jupiter helps us learn and expand our consciousness and awakens our belief systems and what we believe to be true or possible for ourselves. Pluto is bringing in that very much phoenix from the ashes. It doesn't matter what we used to be. It matters what we are going to be and what we are building and becoming, and that emergent self that is coming through right now, that's being birthed, just like the caterpillar to butterfly type of transformation. That's what we're experiencing now. We're experiencing the constriction of the birth canal. And when we get to the other side, we're going to be freer. We're going to have access to more light and more love and support. Hold that vision, because this is the highest possible expression of this energy, is really channeling your very passionate, intense energy into your highest vision and highest ideal, your deepest personal truth. And it's good for receiving fruits of such hard labor. There is a power behind the current expansion, and you are in a unique position to create your greatest vision or your deepest fear. It's your choice. Both these planets force you to improve yourself, your life, and your environment, usually stripping you of misconceptions and excess baggage along the way, thanks to Pluto. This is a 13-year cycle, so you can reflect on how your life completely shifted 13 years ago. I definitely can track mine. This is your time to choose to co-create, to cultivate, and commit to expressing your infinite potential. Deep breath. Dig deeper. There is more to you than you give yourself credit for being. This is your chance to completely redefine your truth and purpose. The worst possible expression of this energy is to become obsessed by a belief, try to force it on others, or force others to your way of thinking, blowing things way out of proportion, magnifying the darkness, and prolonging your trip through the underworld. Jupiter insists we learn from such excavations of the soul. Your deepest truth is surfacing at this time. Is it based in fear or faith? Under pressure, whatever is inside comes out. It's time to decide if you are going to believe in positive outcomes and the ability to turn your deepest wounds into your most trusted, earned wisdom. Deep breath. So we are capable of initiating a completely new story, a new 13-year story at a minimum, but basically because of the turn of the wheel and where we are in the big story, this is monumental and vitally important for you to participate. It's like voting, okay? Voting may have lost its integrity in America by being tampered with, but when you're voting with your energy and your choices, nobody can screw with that. So we are voting for the story that comes out of this crisis. So activate your imagination to see people becoming the superheroes we worship so much, but in real time and in regular people and in everyday ways that make the biggest difference of all to somebody that might be really struggling right now. So let's be compassionate for ourselves and each other. Let's not let that Mars and Pluto and Mars and Saturn dig up all the dark, toxic, and if it is digging it up, let it dig it up to clear it out. See everything that's coming into the light as coming into the light to be released, to be cleared, to be flushed from the system. If you can see it, you can own it. If you can own it, you can change it. And once you change it, right now, like I said, with Pluto kicking, it's a permanent shift. You'll never have to deal with a lot of this stuff ever again if you face it honestly at this time and don't sweep it under the rug or put it on the back burner or delay, deny, or detour like us humans are so prone to do when things get hard. You know, this is when we want to dig for our fortitude and really find out what we're made of. I keep seeing the vision with the Mercury-Neptune contact this week as igniting the parts in our brains that have been dormant. So think about how they say we only use 5% of our brain power. We only understand 5% of how our body works. So if we could unlock these mysteries, these are our superpowers. That's what they are. Learning how to work with the elements, that's your superpower. What happens when you mix earth and water, or earth and fire, or earth and air? Say, look at all the various ways we mix the elements together to create something. They're all necessary. And let's say a blessing for Mama getting this beautiful break, even if it's hard on us. Isn't it good to be easy on her for 5 minutes? I think we can handle this little bit of confinement if it means Mother Earth getting to reset herself in some way that will ultimately benefit us if we can continue to work in balance, which is the season we're in. And I don't want this forecast to be too long, but I don't want you to forget that we have 6 weeks of solid balance available. This is between March 20th and basically May 1st, all of April. Let's tune in to balance. Let's restore balance. Let's check into where we have postponed or put things off overlong and tend to them and really clear out the things that don't have any meaning or value anymore and make room for a vital new beginning that is forthcoming. That's what always happens. After the darkest night, there is always a dawn. So stay strong, stay positive, reach out if you need to for support. I've got tons of YouTube videos, and so does Shanta, and all of our crew is out there helping and supporting in our own ways. We're all talking to our people in our own little circles, and we're dropping in other people's circles and cross-pollinating in these beautiful ways and connecting in these beautiful ways that are so helpful to our little human systems, which are communal by nature. We're not necessarily designed to be isolated. So let's not lose that connection. Let's look at the connection as being rebirthed and reborn in some kind of new form where we're stronger than ever as a unit of the people, let's say the 99%. Let's unify that. Let's see that vision of humanity waking up right now, because actually that's what's happening, is there are little waves of awakenings happening everywhere. And then it causes ripples of change. And that I always like to point out think of how you feel if you're sleeping and somebody turns on a bright light. You're irritated immediately. It's like, stop, turn that light off. That's your first response. But that's not the only response, and that's not the last response. Then you realize there might be a reason the light's getting turned on. So we're having the lights turned on, and yeah, it can be uncomfortable for the first 5 minutes, but you'll adjust. You'll be all right. And we all will. And that's what you have to hold on to, that no matter what the outcomes are, and as hard and devastating as it is to humanity itself, because that's who's sick at the moment, I haven't heard anything about the animals. I'm curious about the animals. That's hard, but it's also part of nature. We're one of nature's creatures, and there are times where these things happen. And I have some fantastic articles if any of you are looking for more support. There's a great article by Dana Gerhardt, who has mooncircles.com, about the Jupiter-Pluto alignment I just talked about on April 4th. You can look up her blog. I think it's there. Kathy Pagano did an excellent spring equinox offering on her blog, it is wisdom-of-astrology.blogspot.com. And that's Kathy Pagano. And then I think Stephen Forrest said he was going to do something. There's definitely some new support coming out that's outlining the alignments and helping us see the various ways these energies can be directed consciously. We all have our kind of different way and different perspective on it. But you can use this energy, y'all, for good. You can use it to transform your life in a way that used to take much longer, years, lifetimes even. Some people don't get this opportunity to reset their lives like this ever. So we got to look for the silver lining. We've got to figure out, what is this lockdown good for? What is the timeout good for? What is the pause good for, besides resetting Mother Earth's balance, which I love being the first thing that's come out as a positive for this. Let's breathe and open to that truth and see technology supporting us, see ourselves supporting each other, see Mother rebounding with ease and grace and shifting to a balance that we can maintain, that we can sustain and deal with earthly changes. This is all part of it also. That's the other thing. When you get back far enough, you see there's nothing actually abnormal about what's happening. We've had pandemics before, and we'll probably have them again. So it's just, how do we deal with it? How do we respond? That's what we need, the energetic support that's being offered this week around initiations, a choice to initiate brand new, amplified power to feed that root for you, to initiate something new, to choose something new, to choose something so nothing's imposed upon you, right? We definitely have to get that clarity going as well, because if you're too slow on the uptake, you're going to get swept along, and that may or may not suit you ultimately. So go into your heart space and decide how you want to go forward, and use these initiations to set the tone. Again, we might not be able to take big, grand gestures or actions at this time, but you can see the vision. You can walk yourself through your vision. I'm doing a lot of this right now because I did have some plans for this year that are on hold now indefinitely. So I'm asking Spirit to show me other ways to accomplish my goals. I know that I was not wrong about these certain goals. Now I just have to look at accomplishing them a different way than I thought I was. That's all. And that's probably applicable to a lot of what everyone's going through these days. So take care, stay strong, stay healthy, stay positive, and reach out if you need to. Much love. Thank you for being part of my community. Many blessings. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and I am so grateful for your time, energy, and support. Please share this with those you think would resonate, and reach out if and when you need to. Kelly at KarmicTools.com. The goal of my weekly forecast is to alert you to the energies and activations that we're all experiencing and the possibilities for conscious co-creation as an individual. Awareness of the energies is the first key, but I invite you to take it to the next level by checking out my readings, telecircles, and subscriptions, which are all geared toward individual support that helps you understand your own unique blueprint. My specialty is cycles and patterns, and I love helping people figure out their own within the context of the social and collective rhythm. To some, working with their own cycles and patterns is a completely new and foreign concept, but there are many planetary cycles that coincide with natural life cycles that allow us to co-create in mystical as well as practical ways. I create custom tools that I have tried and tested myself for over 30 years, and I do the work alongside my circle every time. So I hope you will reach out if you feel called to dive deeper into your own soul's natural rhythm. Talk to you soon. One love.